Alright, YouTube, so we are back, of course, to talk about some Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we're here to discuss the Game Awards one more time before they happen tomorrow. What we're here to look at today is something that kind of hints towards maybe something happening in regards to Remake at the Game Awards. But before we hop into that, something else I want to talk about really quickly that it wasn't necessarily video-worthy itself, so I just kind of want to throw it here at the beginning, is that Square Enix will be a part of Jump Festa 2021, or I guess Jump Festa 21 takes place in 2020. And it'll take place on December 19th and December 20th. It'll be virtual, of course. There's apparently also like an app that we may be able to download. We don't know yet if it's going to be region locked. And it'll have like an island, a Jump Festa island or something that you can explore. It's pretty interesting, to be honest, but we don't know if we're going to be able to take part in it, of course. But anyways, Square Enix has announced a lineup that they have so far for the event. And there's going to be a trailer for Balan Wonderland, whatever that is, Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories, and some other things, and there's obviously more info to be announced. So if there's anything relevant to what we talk about here on the channel, we'll definitely do some sort of follow-up. And I do want to throw it out there that Remake was a part of Jump Festa last year. They did show a trailer for the game. Now, it was an already released trailer at the time. It wasn't a brand new trailer or anything for the event, but Remake was there last year. Anyways, on to the topic of today's video. So what we have is somebody on Twitter noticed something quite interesting. The Japanese Remake Twitter account retweeting something for the Game Awards. Now, on the surface, this looks like and could mean absolutely nothing, of course, right? They're a Remake Twitter account. They're retweeting the event where Remake is being nominated for some awards. And it could simply be just that. Now, putting the most obvious and easiest answer to the side, it is interesting because the Japanese Twitter account pretty much, if not ever, interacts with anything English related. Like, we never see that. If you go down their timeline, it's all Japanese stuff. I'm not saying they never have, but I've just never seen it. Like, if you go down the Twitter timeline, it's just always retweeting and posting things in Japanese for the Japanese audience that is following that account. So that's why this caught a lot of people's attention, because it's like them sort of hyping up an event that they normally don't or wouldn't hype up. It's similar to Shinji Hashimoto. Like, we've seen him do it a few times. I've done videos on him multiple times, hyping up an event like the PS5 event. And it ended up, that's when we got the Final Fantasy 16 reveal, right? So that's kind of the only reason I'm giving this any sort of attention. And on the kind of bigger end of things, people are speculating as to what this could be. Again, the bigger end of things is maybe them talking about the game coming to other platforms. The game's already been out for 8 months, man. We're only like 4 months away, to the day, actually, whenever the Game Awards happens on December 10th. That'll be exactly 8 months of the game being out, exactly 4 months away from the game's exclusivity coming to an end. They could maybe finally talk about it coming to other platforms, whether that's PC, Xbox One, next-gen consoles, whatever. Or suppose technically those are the current-gen consoles. And going even bigger than that with the speculation that other people are having, this isn't me doing this, is, DLC for the game, of course. And some people talked about that cut chapter that Tifa was supposed to have that was going to heavily feature Tifa and Jessie. And something people point out to me that I actually hadn't thought of is that earlier this year, however many months ago that was or whatever, we looked at, the Jessie VA and the Tifa VA recording at the Skylark Studios, which is where Remake was recorded. And it's kind of interesting that both of them were recording around the same time. And that cut chapter for Tifa, which some people think might be a DLC at some point, was going to heavily feature Tifa and Jessie, among other members of Avalanche and things like that. It's an interesting idea. I just don't know how logical it is or how likely something like that would even happen, because it's like a random, cut chapter from like the middle of the game or so, right? Like chapter 8 or something is when it was supposed to happen. I don't remember exactly. And it's like, it seems like a weird DLC to come out. It'd be more character development for some of the characters, obviously, but it's just like, if I want DLC for Remake, I want it post-game content. I want, like, again, like I've said before, like the walk to Calm and maybe some of the Calm stuff or something like that, or whatever the case. Like, I want post-game story, not mid-game story. That's just me, though. But I do think that the most likely thing to happen if we were to get some sort of announcement or reveal in regards to Remake at the Game Awards would be the game coming to the platforms. That just makes the most sense, obviously. Either way, this does have me a little bit more hyped for the event, and if there is something in regards to Remake that's revealed tomorrow, even though we usually do like an every other day upload schedule, I'll make a video tomorrow for sure, of course. But that is the video, my dudes. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll stay updated with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter, @dashingdavid, and my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Low Gain or leave it like Cobain.